morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk. We are here this morning to, in our conversations and real stories today about Black history, knowing that Black History Month is coming out. We are spotlighting the history, culture, and competition together in the best way. The Black History Quiz Bowl is the topic of today. And joining me is a woman behind the powerful program, an organization called Timeout. I have with me Miss Naomi Flythe. Naomi is retired from the Williamsburg Colonial Historical, and I'm messing that up on it. It's a historical
Colonial
area
Williamsburg, yeah.
in Williamsburg, and she is retired from the Greater Williamsburg Chamber of Commerce. 10 years she worked for them, and as her lifelong journey in reaching out to the community has led her to become, or is the founder of Timeout Outreach Ministries. And today we are here to talk about her event that's coming up in March, called the Black History Quiz Bowl. How timely is that, with Black History being celebrated in February? In fact, some of us celebrate it all year long, but Carter G. Wilson started is known to be the father of Black History Month. So with that being said, I want to introduce you all to Miss Naomi Flythe and welcome her to the show and to the podcast. Now, I understand that in 1997, Miss Flythe, is it okay if I call you Naomi?
Oh, sure.
Okay, Naomi, in 1997 to 2001, I know you had religiously put this thing together and had what we call the Black History Bowl, and then it stopped. And then you said in our conversation prior to this that you started it back in 2025. Tell me what that journey was like, and why did you bring it back?
Well, from 1997 to 2001, it was founded by National Black Child Development, and I was the vice president. And of course, I moved and changed things. Life changed. I moved, and it just dropped, and they never took it any further. So, 2025, I had two of the past participants to tell me, Miss Flight, can't you bring the Black History back? We need that. We need the Quiz Bowl. And I was working at the time, and I realized that I couldn't do it then. But as soon as God released me to have time, I felt that that was my call. So I wanted to come back, and with things the way it is now, and things that are happening in the government and in the school systems, we realize that that we need to start focusing on our history, because it's being left behind. And I thought a Black History Quiz Bowl, what would better way to do it and have the children teach us? We learn from the children because we are learning now as they are learning, and they have a structured learning process. And I think it's been very most gratifying.
Yes, I believe it was Winston Churchill who says that if we don't know our history, and I may be paraphrasing this, we are bound to repeat it. And that's one history we do not want to repeat. We just want to learn from it and move forward. Is Black history, the knowledge of things that happen, is that only for Black people?
No, it's it's hope for the entire community. And that is one of the things that we really try focus on. And we do have some um, churches that are not just Black churches; they are mixed churches with white people, and we have those people that are very, very, very interested in our history. So it's for everyone. So the more everyone knows about Black history, the better the community is, and the better the community is, the better the state is. The better the state is, the better the world is. So everybody needs to know to learn some things and unlearn some things, because some things out there been myths, and some of them been misunderstood. And now we, Time Out, and others that are interested in joining me can start focusing on the importance of us knowing our history.
It's very important. It's very important. But some would say, "Oh, I don't want to talk about that. It's just too dark. It just brings up emotions that are not comfortable to deal with." And how do you approach someone, who might say, "Well, I never had slavery. I never had slaves, and that has nothing to do with me," or "I never treated anyone poorly." How do you engage them and say, "Well, you need to know about all of the contributions that people of color have contributed to the building of this country"? How can we start a conversation around that?
Well, I mean, depending on, the person I'm speaking with, but generally speaking, we, meaning everyone, needs to know their history.
Mhm.
We need to know it to keep from repeating it, as Winston Churchill said. We need to know it to grow from it and to move forward and not repeat it. And not knowing is one thing, but knowing is something that you can do something with. Knowledge is power. But if you don't know about your history, then uh, that is something you can't address. I mean, you don't know what you don't know, and
And
that's why it's important to know your history.
it's true.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always a learning process. Um, okay, let's talk about the Quiz Bowl itself. Um, so you got it started back in 2025. What were some of the benefits coming out of that? And you say a couple of the kids that they're probably adults right about
Yes,
now with their
yes.
own jobs and families and everything. Um, what are some of the things that came out of that with starting it?
Well, even yeah, restarting it in 25. Uh, uh, well, we started out with 6 churches, which was very good for the first year because there was a lot of doubt and uncertainty about it. Um, because we didn't have any past history written down in it for it. It wasn't passed on, so that was a 27-year lapse. And what we got out of it, uh, and these are comments that I've heard from adults. I didn't know that. Boy, them kids are really smart. And now those kids know more history, just those that have participated, know more history than most of us adults,
Mm-hmm.
because we were not taught in the time that we were attending school. We were not taught the Black history that's out there and available now. So last year was an eye opener for everyone, and I think everybody has become a historian. A lot of people became a historian and interested and have a lot of questions about our history. So it was an eye opener for one thing.
I never thought about becoming a historian either. In fact, history was not my favorite subject because it did evoke some very self-defeating emotions.
Hmm.
I want to just tell you a little bit. I just had a encounter with a history teacher, and he is happened to be Caucasian, and he taught history for 35 years. And my husband had on a shirt that said 1921, and he did not realize that that was the year of the Tulsa massacre in Tulsa, of Black Wall Street. And he said, I never knew that. He said, I never taught that. I didn't know anything about it. So when we are crossing what we would call the color lines, black and white, or what have you, or just people in general, that we need to know that we all as a people have our own journeys and our history and contributions to this country. And I wanted to share that. When it came to getting the teams together to come and learn about all this history, how did they know what to study, and how did you get them to actually sign up and participate? What were the initial benefit and initial draw to get the kids to participate?
Okay. Well, of course, I'm a 501(c)(3), and we had a board, and we decided that we were going to move forward with this. And being that I was a little experienced in it from the years before, um, I took the mantle, and I decided that I was going to take the lead in this. And um, so what we did first, the first step is to organize to address the churches. Now, it has been the church's focus in last year and this year, but this year we may, the next years to come, we may branch out and open it to any team that want to enter, whether you are in a church or not, football teams, basketball teams, whatever. But that is what our hope is, to branch out and offer it to other organizations other than churches. And once we offer it and we get a response and we have a registration fee, the registration fee changes every year, of course, like everything else. And we get the registration fee, then we cut a cutoff date, and that's it for the team members. And then on usually around October, we usually have a study guide that is uh, made made only for the Black History Quiz Ball. I mean, it's the purpose is a study guide. That's the name of it. It has been copyrighted, and it is a official study guide for each year, and they get the book in October and they study from October. Really, it's not a lot of coming together as far as with the timeout, but with the teams, they study as often as they want, any way they want, many times as they want. That is up to them. Once we make the initial contact, it's only 1 or 2 meetings we do afterwards. And then we just have the competition. I think one of the big things that helped get for the first year, which was last year, was that we knew that today's world, kids are not going to jump at $100. So what we did, we thought we set the bar at $2,500 for the first place team, which is all we as the organization offered. And then we said, we're going to work together and pull in donations. We want your help, and maybe we can increase the prize fund. And maybe I had a little ahead of myself, but in the all said and done, we not only were able to pay the 2,500, but we also got enough donations that we could pay $1,500 for the second place, 1,000 for the third, and 500 for the other teams that were participating. So that was the miracle of it all, and it shows what we can do as we come together as a people.
That
Uh,
is wonderful.
mm-hmm.
I really like that. The kids, they're putting in the hard work of studying and using their time to do that. And to know, and it also teaching them teamwork is another, is rather than just being football or basketball, these kids can come together academically and learn their histories together. And those teams could be comprised of different people from different walks of life. How many people are on a team? Is there a
This
limit?
year, and it'll vary from year to year, but this year is four
Okay.
on each team, and an alternate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 or 5 people would split. If they win first place, they would
Yes,
split $2,500 and
yes.
et cetera, et cetera. I think that motivates me. Can we have an adult team? I know you're doing it for the kids, but can I get an adult team together?
I'm looking forward to doing that just for fun one day. If I
Yeah.
can get any adults brave enough to do it.
Yes. I, I would say my memory is a challenge, but I'm with, for the fun of it and coming together to have these what we would say difficult conversations, but also to learn together, to learn that history and diffuse the myths behind it. I could go on and on, but I can't. I'm going to go on to the next question, but I get excited. I get excited when we have the opportunity to bring the young people together and and pair them with the older people. And you could have a team where you got the older generation and the younger generation learning this history together in competition for all the fun and knowledge that that would bring. So I want to also ask you this question when we're talking about the impact on the community, what this would do, how this would, like I say, bring people together for conversation. Um, I'm looking at my list of questions that I had, empowering people. How do you think this is going to affect them,
Well, it
in their
definitely
lives?
has. It definitely has affected our community. I don't know what will happen in the future, but I know that our community came together, and it was 6 churches. So, can you imagine 6 churches in the same building at the same time? Of course, it's not every church,
Right.
everybody in every church, but it is a representation. And then you have other onlookers that are not from other churches. So, it has done a great thing. And not only that, it's brought the kids together. It was amazing how they were in competition, but when we had breaks and when there was free time, how they interacted, and some of them meeting for the first time. So it's definitely bringing us together as a people.
It's awesome. That is really, really great. Now, if someone is like really interested in wanting to be a part of this quiz bowl, or even just be a part of your organization Timeout, how would they get in contact with you?
They can reach me at my email is ntflythe, FLYTHE, at cox.net. And we also have a Facebook page right now, and we haven't updated it to this year's information because we've not quite got the flyer ready and the information to go on. But the Facebook page would be Time Out, which is the ministry that's sponsoring this. Timeout Outreach, Williamsburg, Virginia, and there's several outreach timeouts on the in Facebook. So you put Williamsburg, Virginia, or Naomi Flythe because it's on my page. You can get there through my page too. So you can do either one, and any updated information would be on there. But definitely my phone number and my email and the mailing address is in there because we do take donations. Uh, that was how we were able to. That was how we were able to pay all of the participants a certain amount of money because we had quite a few donations, and that is one thing I was very, very not surprised, but very, very delighted that if we if we come together, we can make it happen. But we have to come together and unite. And being united is so much better because we are better together.
We are so much better together. Miss Naomi, I want to thank you for coming on with me and sharing all this information. Like I said, I am like totally excited about what you're doing in the community, and willing to do whatever I can to help you. So thank you for joining me today on our Black History segment for Community Connection. And you could find this recording on YouTube. Please remember to click the subscribe button and uh, click the bell so you'll get notices when we're having a guest on. And I'm really excited about this. So thank you, Miss Naomi, again. Until next time, Go out and make your community better. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.